Hello everyone and welcome back to Sarang Menon Academy. In this video, we'll be starting with Java programming language. So let's begin. So first of all, let us learn about some use cases and some history about Java. So basically what is Java? Java is an object-oriented programming language. It's also a high-level class-based language that was released by Sun Microsystems in the year 1995. So now what does this high level class based and object oriented programming language means? Class based language means Java supports classes and objects. Now what are these classes and objects? We'll be discussing these classes and objects concepts in our later part of the series. Basically these class and objects comes under the topic of object oriented programming, that means OOPS. So we'll be covering OOPS in the later part of the series. And James Gosling is credited as the main creator of Java. And later Java was acquired by Oracle. So let us know about the core components of Java. Basically, Java has three core components. The first one is JVM, which stands for Java Virtual Machine. So what does JVM do? JVM converts Java's bytecode, that means the Java code, into machine code. Now this Java's bytecode is automatically generated by the compiler. And then this JVM converts the code which has been generated by Java compiler into machine code. Basically, this machine code is the code which is needed to run in our own operating system. So basically, JVM is hardware based because it converts into machine code based on operating system. It can be Windows, Linux, Mac, and etc. Now the second core component is JRE. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. So JRE is actually a package that bundles JVM along with other core libraries which are required to run Java programs. And the third one is JDK, which is Java Development Kit. Now, it is a full development kit which is needed by developers to compile and run Java programs. So basically, if you want to compile and run the entire Java program, you will need the help of JDK. So now let's learn how to install Java on our system. So first of all, we need to install Visual Studio Code. So we can install Visual Studio Code by visiting code.visualstudiocode.com and then you can follow the steps to install VS Code. Since VS Code is already installed on my system, I'll be heading to the next part of the installation process. So once you have installed Visual Studio Code, you have to go to Visual Studio Code and click on the extensions icon. Now, where is this extensions icon? This extensions icon is located in this area. This icon which seems to look like some blocks. So this is basically the extensions area. So you have to click on it and then you have to search for extensions, extension pack for Java. And as you can see, you will see this extension pack for Java. This is by Microsoft. So you have to install this. Since it's already installed on my system, it's showing uninstall. But you will find an option called install. You have to install it. And then after installing this extension, we need to install JDK, the Java Development Kit. Now, in order to install JDK, inside Visual Studio Code itself, for Windows users, you can apply the command Control Shift P, and for Mac OS users, you can apply the Command Shift V. So if we apply the command, this search bar will open, and then here you have to search for Java, then put a semicolon, then write install new JDK. As you can see, install new JDK. So you have to click on it and then follow the step that it shows. So in my system, JDK is already installed, but if in a system JDK is not installed, you can follow the steps. It will automatically install the JDK for you, and then you will be good to start with the programming language. So once you have installed JDK, you have to create a folder in your own file explorer. You can name the folder whatever name you want. I have given the name as Java. Now, after you have created the folder, it's time to write our very first program in Java. So the first program in Java that we are going to write would be printing a text on the screen. So you might have noticed that whenever we visit some websites or apps or any software, some text would be displayed. So the first program that we are going to run and code will be of printing a text on a screen. So in order to create a file in VS Code, you have to click on the first icon, which looks like a page and a plus file, a plus icon. You have to click on it. And then here we have to give a name for our program. So in Java, whatever name we give should match the name that we give in class. So here I'm going to name it as hello world.java because the text we are going to print would be hello world. Try to put the first word of uh, try to put the first letter of the word as capital and then press enter. And then as soon as you press enter, as you can see, it automatically creates the class for us. Public class hello world. So we need to write our code inside this class. So whatever code that we need to run or display on our screen, we need to write it inside this curly braces. Now the first line that we have to write is public static void main and then open parenthesis and then capital letter S for string, then put square brackets, then put a space, then write args, then open curly braces and then hit enter. So this public static void main string args, this line you have to write it in every Java program. So this is a compulsory line that you have to write in every Java program. So what does this args means? This args means arguments, which means we are passing some arguments to this. So we learn the value of this, we learn the meaning of these values in the later part of our series. So for now, just understand that this public static void main string arguments, it's a compulsory line. It's actually a default line that we need to write it in every Java program. And now inside this curly braces, we'll write our print statement. So basically our print statement is used to display a text on our screen. So in order to print something in Java, we need to write system, the S should be capital, system dot out dot print and then open parenthesis, and inside parenthesis you need to write inside double quotes the text. It can be any text. For this video I am writing hello world. It's just a random, a normal text, hello world, that is almost used as the first program in every programming language. You can write any text that you want. And then you have to come out of the parenthesis and then you have to put a semicolon. And then you can save the code and then click on this run button. This run button, which looks like the play button of YouTube. So you can click on this run button. As you can see, as soon as you click on the run button, it automatically prints the text which shows hello world. Now in a similar manner, I can create another text. I can write system dot out dot print, and this time I can write this is our first, or this is my first Java program, and then put a semicolon and then print. Let me just save it and run it once again. As you can see, now it has printed both texts. But if you notice, I wanted my text to come in two different lines. But here, the Java compiler has printed it in one single line itself. Now, how do I tell my Java program to print it in two different texts. That's where another function comes inside this print function itself. I can just add two more alphabets and then it will automatically be printed in a new line. Now, what are those two more alphabets? The two more alphabets are line, LN. LN, which stands for line. So, where should I write LN? I should write LN in this hello world statement, system.out.print, and then I should write LN. So, this LN indicates that Java should print this hello world and also print a new line. That's what the meaning of ln. So Java should also print a new line, and then my second text, this is my first Java program, would be printed in the second line, the new line which has been created by the Java program. So now if I save the code and run the program once again, as you can see, now it prints in two different lines. So this is much better and more readable. As you can see, it prints hello world in the first line, and this is my first Java program in the second line. And similarly, if you want to print the third text, system.out.print, and if I write this is the third text, and let's put semicolon. Here, if you want to print this text in a new line, in the second line, you have to go and you have to write ln. And if you run the code, as you can see, it prints all three lines in separate new lines. So it's more readable and more understandable to humans. So that's a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like it, and share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching.